Hey everybody, this is my 40-gallon Black Ghost knife fish tank, and recently one of my light fixtures had a tube burn out, so of course the whole fixture shut down, and I've been running on one fixture down the center of the tank rather than one towards the rear and one towards the front. So I was planning on getting in there and getting some LEDs on top of it, but the only LEDs I could afford right now would be some very low budget do-it-yourself type LEDs. I've got them on a few of my other tanks, and they get the job done. But this tank has a little more serious lighting requirements, and it probably has a little higher lighting requirements. Not only a better quality of light needed, but a better quantity of light needed. And it just has a lot more fish and a lot more activity, and I like to be able to see what's going on in here a lot better than I do some of my other tanks that don't necessarily need so much lighting. So until I can afford to get some good quality LED lighting on this tank, I'm going to go ahead and simply replace the T5 tube that was burned out, and that'll get that second fixture up and running. So we'll go from just the one fixture down the center of the tank like we have it now, and then we'll see it with the two fixtures forward and rear. So go ahead and consider this part of the video your before. There's your after. Quite a difference. So that's the way I like to see this tank lit up. The only thing I don't like about it is the fact that you can see that unattractive wood paneling that's on the wall behind the tank. I never really have gotten around to putting anything behind this tank to block that out. Over on the right side, it's not so bad. I got enough vegetation and stuff in the way that you don't really notice it, but over there to the left, you can really see that wood paneling. So one day I will just stick something dark colored behind there, a piece of poster board, or even a piece of the purple cloth that I have lying around everywhere. I can put a piece of that back there if I've got a spare piece or whatever, but we can definitely do something about the back. Now that we've got that fixture back there lit up again, you can really see that back wall. I think the last time the tank was lit up like this was before I had treated it with the ChemiClean, and the back glass was all just gunked up with growth, and it looked natural in a sense, but you know, it didn't look like wood paneling, but it didn't look attractive either. So we'll do something about that now that we can see it again. Otherwise, nothing really else to report about the tank itself. I did want to show you the tube that I pulled off of there. These Coralife fixtures that are on this tank are very, very narrow, and it's really difficult to get your fingers in there to roll the tubes to get them, you know, the pins in the right position to pop them out. So when I tried to get the one tube out of this fixture, it just broke, like it had been, like the glass had been scored right around the end, where, you know, when a tube goes bad, it gets dark at the end. Like right around that dark line is where it broke, like it had been scored. It broke in a perfectly clean line. And I thought that was really unusual, so I went and I pulled one of the fixtures out of, one of my old fixtures had some tubes in it. One was burned out, one still worked. So when I pulled the old tube out, the burned out tube, we've got it right here. We'll see if we can see it. You see that dot? That is a hole in the glass. I kid you not. That is an actual... Where are we here? There we are. That is an actual physical hole through the glass. Now, I haven't tried to stick a piece of wire or something through there to confirm that it goes all the way through, but I can see an actual physical hole, and I can feel it with my finger. So I'm pretty sure that that glass was melted to the point where there's a hole in it. So I've had this issue with a couple, never necessarily noticing a hole in the glass, but this is from one fixture. The fixture that I was describing where the tube actually physically broke in my hand was from the fixture that's on this tank. And then the other fixture was the one that was on my brackish tank that Butterbean lives in, and that was one that I just got so tired of the tubes burning out so frequently that I wound up just getting rid of it altogether. And that's one of my tanks that I have that really low budget do-it-yourself LED on there. This is one of my snails. Oh wow, can you see that movement right there? That is a rare glimpse of my black ghost knifefish. He still is in there and he's still alive. I haven't seen this one in a while. He's back in his normal cave too. So this tank is next on my list to get a water change done. It's been a little while now that I got the lighting back up to snuff and we can see in there. Everything looks fine, but still needs a water change, so we're going to go ahead and get that done. So make sure you subscribe, that way you won't miss anything I got coming up. You never know what it's going to be with me, and you never know, one of the days we might get to actually see that black ghost knifefish moving around. I can see him moving again. Let's give it a half a second so you can see if he actually comes out of his tank. I mean, out of his cave. I don't really hope he doesn't come out of his tank. Speaking of which, I did have one of my hatchet fish in my T-bar tank come out of the tank the other day. I had the lid open while I was feeding them, and I got hit in the chest by a hatchet fish. Fortunately, I was able to pick it up off the ground and get it back in the tank, but I did, in fact, get hit in the chest with a hatchet fish. That sentence would sound a whole lot different if the fish wasn't on the end of it. So anyway, there's my black ghost knifefish. He's still under there, just kind of lying there. That's what it does most of the time. I guess because the bright light's on now, it's kind of disturbed it a little bit, and it's waggling its head around. But I think the likelihood of it actually coming out of its little cave there is probably pretty slim. So as I said, make sure you're subscribed, that way you won't miss anything. You never know what it's going to be with me. And then of course, don't forget, this one here is my black ghost knifefish tank. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you real soon on the next one.